Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at TBC Online. Minister of State, President's Office, Regional Administration and Local Government, Angela Kairuki, has directed government officials responsible to oversee the Dar es Salaam Metropolitan Development Project, DMDP, to ensure funds are used as intended. Apasia Ringo has more.
Minister Kairuki gave the directive in Dodoma while witnessing the signing of the contracts between the contractors and the DMDP authority. She further emphasizes that the implementation of the project should reflect the amount of funds invested in.
Tunaamini hamtatuangusha na mmeona wenyewe hapa hadhara hii.
We believe that you will not disappoint us, and you have seen that the whole committee is there for you to come and witness if DMDP2 will be a reality. Also, parliamentarians and the Regional Commissioner of Dar es Salaam, I want you to understand that these funds are loans and must be paid on time, and we do not believe that you will be an obstacle in any way.
Na mkopo tunataka pia ulipwe mapema na kwa wakati.
The Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, says his ministry will be deeply involved in the project, while the coordinator of the World Bank projects in the Ministry of Regional Administration and Local Government and Tarura engineer Humphrey Kanyenye says that the project targets to improve infrastructure, hence the provision of services and business environment in the city of Dar es Salaam.
Hamna kipindi cha bajeti ambacho tunakaa wabunge wa Dar es Salaam wasiseme jambo hili.
There is no parliamentary budget period in which the MPs of Dar es Salaam do not talk about this matter. As the minister has already said, we'll continue with the monitoring until it's complete, as the minister assured the people of Dar es Salaam and its representatives. There is part of the infrastructure in that road infrastructure, and we know that for the city of Dar es Salaam, there is high demand. There are markets that we built in the first phase, but we faced several challenges. Selection of market areas and types of market that we built, and there are some that have not been used until now.
800 billion shillings from the World Bank has been allocated for the DMDP's second phase, targeting road and market constructions in various areas of the city of Dar es Salaam.
Some members of parliament recommend the government to create conducive environment for Tanzanians living abroad, including granting the diaspora with dual citizenship status to capitalize on their potentials so as they can contribute to the country's development. The recommendation was given during the tabling of the 2023-2024 spending plan for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation in Dodoma. Here's a report by Milika Andrew, read to you by Apasia Ringo.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation is a crucial ministry in the national economic matters, investment, tourism, and is imperative in strengthening diplomacy with other countries around the world. Minister responsible for the ministry, Dr. Stergomena Tax, presents the 2023-2024 spending plan for the ministry in Dodoma. In the period from July 2022 to April 2023, the ministry coordinated the visits of 19 senior leaders abroad. The president made 8 visits, the vice president made 3 visits, the president of Zanzibar and the chairman of the Revolutionary Council made 4 visits, and the prime minister made 4 visits. These visits have strengthened international relations between Tanzania and other countries, as well as regional and international communities. Also, it has brought great economic and social success, which includes the increase in investment, opening markets for various products and services, an increase in tourists, access to aid, and concessional loans for various projects. Some members of parliament recommend ways to improve even further the country's economic diplomacy. We need to make efforts to ensure that investors from abroad do not face challenges or obstacles of any kind. The 3 cross-sectoral sectors of Tanzania should cooperate with foreign affairs to provide education to the people, as it is in business, marketing, and investment, because there are people who do not understand and lack the values of such matters. Others use the opportunity to urge government to create conducive environment for the Tanzanians living abroad.
Kwa nini turuhusu?
Why should we allow a Tanzanian to lose his or her divine rights because he or she has gone to seek opportunities in the other countries? According to our Constitution, Article 17, number 1 says, every citizen of the United Republic has the right to go anywhere in the Republic and live in any place from the country and enter, and also the right to work, and others.
Kutoka nje ya nchi na kuingia, na pia haki ya kufanya kazi na kadhalika.
Diaspora wanachangia.
The diaspora contributes to their countries of origin in four main aspects: social, political, economic, and developmental aspects. Socially, those who live in abroad are probably learning creativity on how to differentiate things, and when they return home, they do what is possible to stimulate countries' development.
Wanafanya hivyo na kutuendeleza katika gurudumu la maendeleo.
Parliament has passed the ministry's budget for the 2023-2024 fiscal year, amounting to 247 billion shillings.
In other news, the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, in partnership with the European Union and the United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, has launched a second funding applications for impact-driven startups through its Funguo Innovation Programme. The call targets Tanzanians' impact-driven startups and innovative small and medium enterprises with growth potential. Earlier today, I attended the launch and prepared this report. Through targeted catalytic funding, complemented with a technical assistance package, the Funguo program aims to increase the number of successfully scaled innovation ventures. That is why today, innovators are called to apply for funding in order to make an impact in the society.
So the launch of the second call for funding applications signifies yet another milestone in UNDP's commitment to fostering innovation and driving national development goals. We firmly believe in the power of the many innovative young people who dedicate themselves to bringing about positive change through entrepreneurship. Their endeavors, as we have seen already, not only create job opportunities for themselves and fellow young people, and hopefully also older people, but also contribute to the sustainable development of this nation.
The head of cooperation from the European Union, Cedric Merrill, here delves deep into why it is crucial for the EU to support such endeavors.
For us as the European Union, it is important to support the growth and innovation of the private sector in the same way as we offer support to the government to increase system and processes to enhance service delivery to the people. And it might even become increasingly important because without you, with your innovative idea, your drive to create, your will to succeed, Tanzania cannot prosper. We have been keeping a close eye on those 26 initial investees from the first round, which we are yet to visit, at least a few of them, to see the success with our own eyes. But already from the 4 companies narrating their stories, it is impressive what has developed out of it.
The program manager for Funguo, Joseph Manirakiza, furthermore elaborates on the Funguo program and how it contributes to scaling up startups.
It's one of those initiatives which is trying to create opportunities and incentivize young people to be able to grow and scale their businesses. So it's basically starting for those who have already shown that there is something they are doing about the situation. So we can be able to help them by supporting initiatives like Funguo. So this is a UNDP initiative which is funded by the European Union. We have already said that already by other people. And what it's trying to do is to contribute towards increasing the number of successfully scaled impact-driven startups. So because we believe that if we can grow a number of a critical mass of startups, then they can go ahead and create jobs for those who have founded them, but also for their fellow young people.
Innovation is one of the crucial drivers for economic development. Therefore, catalytic funding to innovators, startups, and SMEs play an important role in transporting them to the next levels. Faida Ngaga, TBC News. Traders in the international market of Kariakoo in Dar es Salaam say the market continues to attract more local and international customers following the market resuming fully to normal operations. Lulua Mohammed visited the market and has prepared the following report.
Speaking to TBC, some businessmen and women say the business condition at the market has improved, making it conducive to attract more local and international customers. We have lost many customers, but we thank God that after the Prime Minister came and talked to us, the business is now headed in a good direction so that our customers can return to the country.
The visitor can come to buy without any inconveniences, which is different from the ones that used to appear before. Customers should not hesitate to come to the store. There is no more inconvenience. But the only thing for us traders to do is make sure we issue a receipt for each product.
Cherry Shao, a businesswoman from China who manages an electronic shop at the Kariakoo market, commends the government for prompt action to resolve their challenges.
And we are doing wholesale business here in Kariakoo. Now it's getting better. We thank you very much for the government that did for us, the TIA of Kariakoo and the Mapato House, whatever the help they did for us, we appreciate it. It's getting better.
She furthermore welcomes more foreign traders to come and engage in various business opportunities in the country.
Just don't be afraid. Come follow up the government. Just listen to the government, say what they ask us to do. We follow up the law. Then we open the shop, we do the business. Print the receipt to every customer. Then it's fine. Everything will be fine.
Previously, the Kariakoo business community raised a number of issues demanding the government to review some laws and systems, leading to the shops at the market to be closed for 3 days. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Lulua Mohammed, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Lulua Mohammed, for that report. Body piercing dates back thousands of years ago and has reached traditions in various cultures around the world. But now health professionals caution individuals against risks associated with body piercing, insisting that one should ensure best practices are observed to lower possible risks and complications. Apasia Ringo reports.
Body piercing is considered a sign of beauty, wealth, and status. This has historically been found in African cultures, but it actually began in the Middle East. Fahmi Omari, a body piercer and tattoo artist, says that body piercing should be done by individuals who have enough knowledge, and he advises on the specific method to be used that is safe for the human skin.
But you have to go to somebody who knows what they are doing, and you have to consider material-wise, proper piercing instructions. The proper method that people can use in the world is only STM F136 or medical implant. That is the only method we advise as professional body piercer.
Also, Dr. Magdalena Dennis, a dermatologist at the Muhimbili National Hospital, explains the effects that are likely to occur and urges people to take precautions to avoid possible skin reactions.
The short-term effects, mostly the first one is pain, because the procedure is painful, but the person can also bleed, especially if the piercing is done into an area with blood vessels. But also you can get infection, especially if the hygiene or the sterility is not followed. And the long-term effects, you can get these swellings or hypertrophic scars or keloids, but you can also have development of a wound, especially if the procedure is not done onto the muscle area.
Although the history of body piercing is obscured by popular misinformation and a lack of scholarly reference, ample evidence exists to document that it has been practiced in various forms by multiple sexes since ancient times throughout the world. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Apasia Ringo, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Apasia Ringo. Sumbawanga district in Rukwa region has started cocoa production and is expected to be the second main commercial crop produced in the district. Acting Agricultural Officer of the Sumbawanga District Council, Oswald Mwakibinga, says the production of cocoa started in 2019 and already the farmers are delighted with the possible opportunities and benefits the crops will generate. Here's a report prepared by Hosea Cheo, read to you by Kefa Igilo.
Sumbawanga district now enters the list of cocoa producing districts in the country, which include Kiela, Rungwe, Ileje, and Kilosa districts.
Zao la kakao,
we started to cultivate cocoa crop in our council for the past 4 years. Now we have harvested cocoa, as you can see, and it's in great quality. So this is the proof that cocoa can grow in Sumbawanga district and it's marketable. So when it comes to cocoa production, we do believe the more we educate and motivate farmers, then this crop will be of greater impact for farmers and for the nation as whole. It is the second commercial crop to be produced in Sumbawanga district after cashew crop. In Sumbawanga district, we have two zones, namely Lake Rukwa zone and Northern Ufipa zone. The weather on Lake Rukwa zone is favorable for this crop, and that's where the cocoa is grown for now. The number of farmers joining the cocoa farming is increasing since the district started the production.
Prior, I used to harvest 2 kilograms of cocoa per week, but I have harvested 5 to 6 kilograms of cocoa per week. So the amount increases as I keep taking care of the trees. But I didn't store there because after having cocoa trees and fruit, I have become experienced on now how to grow the crop so as to increase the number of trees on the farm. Since I produce seeds by own self, I have 75 trees of cocoa instead of 15 trees on the farm.
Mwananchi Communications Limited, MCL, through its Rising Woman Initiative, has signed a memorandum of agreement with the Institute of Directors Tanzania, IODT, aimed to improve leadership skills to women in Tanzania through mentoring and coaching, empowering them to grab economic and leadership opportunities. Signing the agreement, the CEO for Mwananchi Communications Limited, Bakari Machumu, says his company plans to increase the awareness of the Rising Woman Initiative campaign through MCL's digital platforms.
Today's collaboration is aimed at taking the initiative of the Citizen Rising Woman to the next level beyond doing it on monthly basis in March, February to March. Now it is becoming a daily thing. By taking it to digital, we are actually putting it out there for women to network, for women to come together all the time, exchanging ideas, exchanging experience, giving each other's referrals, sharing networks. So what we are doing today, bringing in IODT, these are experts, Said will explain later, they are experts in leadership training, leadership skills, mentorship and coaching.
It's coming to be understood that one of the most important things is actually leadership is everywhere, and leadership can be learned. That's extremely important to understand. So anyone, right, being given an opportunity and commitment can become a leader. And that's very interesting, especially when you look at the condition of women versus men in our society. It was easier to look at the corporate, women and so on, but I'm happy that Rising Women now goes outside. I want to see Mama Mboga and Dada Matunda and Mama Lishe and so on as well. Because I said leadership can be learned, isn't it? And everyone should be given opportunity to grow.
Rising Woman Initiative is a platform that celebrates women achievements as well as addressing challenges they face through engagement. Now let's have a look at other stories. The tourism industry in Africa is one of the largest employers of youth in the continent. The Africa Youth in Tourism Innovation Summit and Challenge aims at connecting young Africans working in the tourism industry. Margaret Getty reports.
Happening for the 5th time in a row, today is the commencement of Africa Youth in Tourism Innovation Summit and Challenge here in Swakopmund, Namibia.
This is the only Pan-African Youth Startup in Tourism Summit on the continent. It serves a platform for SMEs, youth and startups in all aspects of tourism and all related industries to connect, engage, learn, innovate, and grow. Furthermore, various trainings have been provided to young Africans regarding how they can utilize digital marketing as a tool to improve their businesses.
Most people are using mobile phones, they're using their PC to be on social media. So it's very important for tourism, industry of tourism business to have online platform, website and Facebook pages and social media and other social media pages for them to be able to access their target market and to convert their prospect into actual buying customers, because everything is happening online. The word of mouth is now spread online as opposed to in person, and you can actually build your brand visibility on social media and stay ahead of your competitors.
Youth have been advised to understand the power of digital branding in order to stay in the radar with the rest of the world.
Social media honestly has really leveled the playing ground for a lot of us, youth in Africa. So it basically has made access to a lot of these tools super easy. So you could literally take your phone and create content, so it has really eradicated the barrier of entry that was previously there, because obviously you needed high-tech equipment, which is often very expensive for young people. So now you can literally put your phone, take your phone, use it, create content, and then just basically just follow the best practice principles, and you should get the most out of it in terms of promoting yourself if you are an influencer or a freelance or an entrepreneur or a business or even your country.
However, some youth in tourism who are attending the summit have a lot of positive expectations of the summit, and they are already learning through the masterclass programs as well as getting to connect with different people in the industry.
So we are here to have an exchange of ideas on the approaches on how to promote Africa and how to promote our separate destinations. But again, the issue is selling Africa as one destination.
I expect to build partnerships and collaborations in Namibia with people of Namibia. I'm also open to know more about investment platforms, youth programs, and connecting with other people around Africa, because I feel like Africa is growing and there is a lot of potential in Africa.
Africa Youth in Tourism Innovation Summit and Challenge will be held here in Namibia for the next 3 days, where different youth from different countries here in Africa, especially in the field of tourism, will be meeting here to discuss different issues concerning tourism and small businesses for that matter. Reporting from Swakopmund, this is Margaret Getty.
That was Margaret Getty from Namibia. Now, before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. Now let's have a look at international news as compiled by Dorothy Mari and read to you by Gloria Michael.
China has sent a 3-person crew, including a civilian, for the first time to join its orbiting space station as it pursues plans to send a crewed mission to the moon within 10 years. The Shenzhou 16 spacecraft lifted off from the Jiakun Satellite Launch Center in northwestern China earlier today. The crew, including China's first civilian astronauts, will overlap briefly with the 3 currently on board the Tiangong station, who will then return to Earth after completing their 6-month mission. China built its own space station after it was excluded from the International Space Station, largely due to United States concerns over the Chinese space program's intimate ties with the People's Liberation Army, the military branch of the ruling Communist Party. China's first crewed space mission in 2003 made it the third country after the former Soviet Union and the United States to put a person into space under its own resources. Sudan's Army and Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces RSF have extended a ceasefire deal for another 5 days. The World Food Programme says the relative lull in fighting had allowed it to send supplies to residents trapped in the capital Khartoum for the first time since fighting erupted 6 weeks ago. The Sudanese Army and its rivals from the Rapid Support Forces have accused each other of repeated violations, particularly in the Darfur region. And Malawi authorities have ended a corruption trial against former President Bakili Muluzi. Muluzi served 2 5-year terms as president between 1994 and 2004, but he was charged 5 years after he left office. He and his former personal secretary, Linus Whiskey, were charged with the abuse of public funds amounting to 1.7 billion kwacha, equivalent to $1.7 million. On Mondays, the Malawi High Court said it had freed Muluzi from all charges following a decision by the country's head of public prosecutions to discontinue the case. Muluzi has always protested his innocence, saying the case was political persecution by the government of his successor, Bingu Mutharika, with whom they fell out.
That was international news. Sports news up next. In sports news, the Tanzania Sports Council officer Charles Maguzu calls on national teams participating in international competitions to ensure that they win tournaments so as to market the nation internationally. Speaking during the handing over of the national flag to softball national team in Dar es Salaam, Maguzu says that the government is ready to support the national teams and that are going well in international competitions.
Opportunity like this is a clear vision of President goals which have set for players. So if we will have a better, we will have a good players who have national dream to participate in World Softball Tournament and different international competitions.
The Tanzania softball national team is leaving tomorrow for Japan to participate in an international softball tournament scheduled to kick off on June 2nd. In other sports news, the Tanzania Rugby Union head of women's team TRU, Fatma El-Kindi, says playing with Bryzathon from the United Kingdom has increased their skills of the game, and they are ready to apply the new skills in international tournaments. Speaking to the TBC News reporter in Dar es Salaam, Fatma El-Kindi insists that the game is an opportunity for women to employ themselves and improve their health.
Girls versus Tanzania game and the women participating in the exhibition game was to show people that there is rugby in Tanzania. From now on, everybody must know that as in East Africa, Rwanda, Burundi, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Tupo, we are here to play rugby. Women are going to be represented more than ever from what we did on the 28th of May. Future of rugby for Tanzania is 100% advantageous. We have come a long way. We didn't have women playing rugby in Tanzania, but from what we have seen and what we have done so far, we have 4 teams. Hopeful not only to have more teams, but we're going to have the first national team of rugby, women's rugby, Tanzania.